All eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me.
It's a new year and a new home for Brisbane Roar this season, and they'll be hoping KO Stadium can reignite that early season spark as they face a Wellington Phoenix side bursting with confidence. 10 goals scored, none conceded in their last two matches, and they have a fan favourite in the house, Samba, who has scored 3 in her last 2 and will look to continue that run tonight. The Nepalese star, who has fans in the house across the country. Welcome to KO Stadium on Kabi Kabi and Ningi Ningi country here in Redcliffe. The Roar against the Phoenix, and well, for Brisbane tonight, it really is a story about resilience, backing up after a bruising New Year's Eve encounter in Gosford. Kuilamu and Kruger injured. And that is what is ahead of us tonight. Perth Glory will take on Newcastle Jets as part of a triple header on Saturday after Western Sydney held Canberra in the west of Sydney. Tomorrow it all finishes with City and Sydney FC. Wellington tonight chasing history in Queensland. They've never won a Ninja A-League clash in the Sunshine State. So who wants it more tonight? The Roar and Knicks launching into 2026. Tonight we find out who can put their best foot forward. Three changes for the Roar after their defeat on Wednesday night. Kuilamu's misfortune opens the door for young Matilda Daisy Brown, who makes her first Ninja A-League start. After battling a knee issue, Mariana Seidel returns to the 11 for the first time since November. Stevenson is benched. Hayashi pushes into midfield, while Ava Piazza makes her first Ninja A-League start since March 2024. She comes in for Kiara Myers. And young Matilda Daisy Brown, as I mentioned, her first Ninja A-League start tonight after the loss of Grace Kuilamu to what looked to be a serious knee injury. And the Sydney junior, she could get an extended shot up front. And she gets the chance, the first shot, and making that position her own tonight. Two changes for Bev Priestman's Knicks after that comprehensive win against Western Sydney. Captain CJ Bott's knee injury did sour that win. She's ruled out tonight, but December signing Emma Peinenberg steps in and offers quality in midfield. Meanwhile, Mania Elliott is back in the starting side in place of Lara Wall. 17-year-old midfielder Pia Vlock has impressed across all of the 7 matches this season. She won the Golden Ball at the 2024 OFC Under-16 Championship, and she looks to continue her outstanding start to senior football tonight. No mean feat considering they are the most experienced side in the league in terms of age. Well, Brisbane Roar boss Alex Smith, he's furious with the Roar's schedule, pointing out key injuries to Yallop, Kuilamu and Kruger all came after extended breaks between matches. Now he's got to pick up the pieces with a threadbare squad. Lara Lee is back from the Under-17 Women's World Cup. She refereed there last year. She takes charge tonight in her home state. And Bev Priestman, she reminded everyone this week that historically the Phoenix have always been the underdog. Now they have the challenge of being one of the hunted teams in this competition. And Brisbane Roar, back-to-back defeats against a Wellington side who are coming off back-to-back wins. They've only ever won 3 straight in the Ninja A-League, once before Wellington Phoenix. And as I said, in Queensland, they have lost all 3 previous encounters with Brisbane. It's more even across the board. 3-2 Brisbane lead the head-to-head with a couple of draws there as well. The question on a lot of fans' lips tonight is, will Samba strike for the third match in a row? Nepal's all-time leading goal scorer. Just getting some final instructions from Bev Priestman. The energy, athleticism, it is infectious for this Wellington side. That's what Brisbane have to bring tonight. Sian Fryer has that raw speed, that experience. She's one of the last Matildas standing now in this Brisbane lineup, along with Chloe Lincoln after the loss of Yallop and now Kuilamu. It is a tough task tonight. The free-scoring Phoenix, they've scored 10 in the last 2. Samba has scored 3 of those. And a Brisbane side who has leaked goals in recent matches. So can the Raw show resilience minus a couple of their Matildas, or will it be Wellington who make history tonight in the Sunshine State? We are about to find out over the next 90 minutes. Wellington Phoenix can continue their rise up the table. Currently sitting in 5th spot on 11 competition points. Brisbane just outside the 6, but as is going to be the case for a lot of this season due to the bye, it is a little bit deceptive, the ladder, because Brisbane have only played 6 matches. Canberra and Melbourne Victory at the top have played 10. So if Brisbane did happen to win all 4 matches that they have in hand, they would rise above both those 2 teams at the top of the table. So you can take it with a grain of salt, but one thing that is for certain is Brisbane come in here off the back of consecutive defeats, and they must turn the momentum, and quickly, because a busy January means if you're low on confidence, the season can slip away rather quickly. Here's Piazza. Just trying to find her range over Piazza. First Ninja A-League start in almost 2 years. First with Brisbane Roar. And that has pushed Ashlyn Miller further up the pitch into that wide right role, where Kiara Myers has been playing in recent weeks. So Alex Smith looking to see if he can get more of an attacking involvement out of the American recruit, especially with the loss of Kuilamu, Kruger and Yallop. Leavali will want to put New Year's Eve behind her rather quickly. It's a tough evening for the Brisbane centre-back, Bente Jansen. Gliding past Wellington players. Now Miller finding Fryer. Fryer decided against shooting. It may not matter in the end, as the flag has come up, but what a chance that was for Brisbane Roar, and it all came through the Dutchwoman Jansen. And I tell you what, it's tight, but it looks as though it's the correct decision. Just. Have a look at the fans in the house. A double-header tonight. We had the A-League men match first. Dramatic win for Wellington. Down to 10. A 3-0 victory. Here's Samba. None! Blocked off by Varley. You would think it's a Wellington home match. Such is the support they have tonight in Redcliffe. And if you look at the census back in 2021, there were just under 6,000 of the population of Brisbane with Nepalese heritage. And a fair chunk of them have come out tonight to Redcliffe. And they are cheering on this Wellington side, who very nearly opened the scoring there through Brooke Nunn. Delivery dangerous towards Emma Main. Jale. And Vlock. Nunn to delivery. Well, perilously close to the top corner. The championship winner with the Central Coast last season. Off to new pastures this season. Has started well with Wellington. He scored once this season. To go with 4 goals last year with the Mariners. Just listen to the noise in the house tonight in Redcliffe. That far grandstand you can see. Well, you will see down the other end of the pitch. It is absolutely packed with Nepalese fans. And that Brisbane is attacking. Well, Lara Lee, she lost a whistle here. What's happened here? Well, Daisy Brown, who's on starting debut. I don't know why Lara Lee is so angry with Daisy Brown. It looked like a total accident there. It was just fortunate there wasn't a further injury. A number of years ago, we actually saw in Queensland, a referee was knocked out by the knee of a player. A game at Suncorp in the NRL, and that was a sickening collision. Very nearly same thing happened there, but it wasn't Daisy Brown's fault. It was very much an accident, and she was trying to avoid Lara Lee there. Anyway, here's a strike from Jansen. Maybe it's going to be one of those nights tonight in Queensland. Into the starting side tonight. Looking at through for Pynenberg. So what a recruit that is. Emma Pynenberg returning from the Netherlands. You would have to say she knows a fair bit about Bente Jansen, because they played against each other in the Netherlands. Pynenberg with Feyenoord, and Bente Jansen is playing with Ajax and Twente. Here is Pynenberg. An intriguing little battle that could shape up in midfield tonight. Pynenberg and Jansen. Jansen coming into this competition as somewhat of an unknown to Australian fans. Well, she's impressed with her 5 goals. Oh, this is skillful from Vlock. And cleared over the sideline by Miller. Look at Pia Vlock, 17 years of age. Another one of those players who you just need to soak up while she's here in this competition, because you feel like she won't be in the Ninja A-League for long. Her ceiling looks high. So here's the American, Walker, with the trademark long throw. Pynenberg. This is Nunn. And delivery comes in. It's a dangerous one, an awkward one for Piazza. Vandermeer. Brooke Nunn in a foot race. Seidel getting back to clean up for Brisbane. Well, did you hear that? Someone's just yelled out, the ball is flat, put it out. Oh, I don't know whether anyone's heard that. Doesn't look too flat at the moment. It's going to sit up here. And I think Lara Lee is putting that ball out of service, is she? That one's done for the night. I did wonder as well, and we heard the boys mention in the A-League men's match, the grass is a little long, so the ball is holding up a little bit more. So I didn't know whether that potentially is having an impact on maybe the ball not rolling as far, but for the moment, that one's going to need a pump. So we haven't even been going 10 minutes here. We've had a referee almost taken out. We've had a flat ball, and it's shaping up as a nice one here in front of a really healthy crowd in Redcliffe. Fryer. And Woods. Oh, and that is a poor giveaway. Seidel could go into the book here. You'd be surprised if she didn't, because it's as cynical as it comes. Well, she's very fortunate if it's just going to be a talking to. Well, Brisbane may count their lucky stars on that occasion. And Jale, who is one of the Wellington originals, even though she has not played with Wellington every season in the Ninja A-League. She's delivering, and it's a dangerous one for Lincoln. Hooked away momentarily. Pynenberg lost a headband. And Wellington couldn't get another strike on goal. Well, Chloe Lincoln, she had a nervy moment on New Year's Eve, which resulted in a goal. She collided with Varley. Probably not all her fault, but she'll want to be taking those ones in the air. Vlock stepped away from Seidel. Now Nunn. Good pressure from Sian Fryer, who continues the run here. Speed to Byrne, runs away from Barry, slips it in front of Bente Janssen. And well closed off by Vandermeer. Well, that is excellent defending from Marissa Vandermeer. To be just onside Janssen, and look at this. One of the most dangerous players in the competition bearing down on you, and Essen was quickly up off her line to dive on the loose ball. Fryer. Piazza. Pressure there on Medwin. That's the Brisbane boss, Alex Smith. See here tonight, it looks as though Brisbane, who has been playing with that back four in recent weeks, look as though they've gone to a back three with Medwin and Miller playing as the wing back. So he's basically traded a midfielder there for extra player defensively and allows them a little bit more width on the flanks, Brisbane. You know they like to exploit that speed out wide. May even be Sian Fryer who's playing in that left wing-back role. So a bit of a change-up from what we've seen from Brisbane, but they had to, with the loss of Quilamu, Gallup and Kruger, so they've lost two midfielders there to injury. Depth all of a sudden comes into the equation. Hayashi is pushed up into midfield for this one from the back line. You can see passing accuracy up around the 80%. Oh, can you believe that? From distance. Wellington Phoenix out of absolutely nothing score the opening goal inside the opening 15 minutes. Well, they are as stunned as everyone here inside KO Stadium. It was Hayashi who had a pocket picked. Mania Elliott tries a luck from distance off the post and in. And Wellington lead on the road. It was on the frame of the goal, just off the surface, just skipped away from Lincoln. And Elliott with a second of the season. And on a night where strange things have already happened, there's another one to add to the list. So Lincoln has to shake that off. Hayashi is now releasing Fryer down the left. Can they strike back immediately, Brisbane? Sian Fryer. Miller! How about that for a response? Ashlyn Miller with a first Ninja A-League goal. They were not behind for long, the Raw. Well, you just feel like it's one of those nights, don't you, in Brisbane? And you know there's going to be space out wide. Wellington are playing a back three. Brisbane know they can exploit it. They find some width again through Fryer. And Miller is good enough to finish, playing higher up the pitch tonight. She's been playing it right back for most of the season. Now she gets a chance to score her first Ninja A-League goal, and she has taken it. Alex Smith giving her that opportunity. And what a moment that is for the American and for Brisbane Roar. Just the second goal this season Wellington have conceded from open play. And it's actually the first since November the 8th against Canberra. Penalty scored by Ayres for Newcastle. And then the corner, which Stott finished for Melbourne City. And then Honsong Cam's Olympico for Perth. So they're the goals they've conceded. And when you can rattle them off, and they're already playing their 8th match, you know that Wellington have been quite astute defensively. Oh, maybe just a little rattled. They unable to find a teammate. You can see Brisbane. More passes inside their own half. In the end, it did result in first goal conceded. Vlock. Oh, it's open and entertaining this. You just cannot look away. Tonight tonight in Redcliffe. It's Tish Woods. And it back to Jale. Vlock. Delivery, dangerous again. Oh, Lincoln. Well, if you're Wellington, you are testing out the Brisbane goalkeeper. It has been a really disappointing start tonight for Lincoln. Three-time caps Matilda. There's another fumble. Has to put that out of her mind. But no doubt Wellington are going to be putting her under the blowtorch. Daisy Brown initiating the press from the front here for Brisbane. The 19-year-old young Matilda was called into the training camp in June last year. Pressuring Essen. Now forces the turnover. Varley. Nice pass into Miller. See playing in that midfield role tonight, Miller. And here's the 1-2. Miller for 2 in a matter of minutes. The flag comes up for offside. Oh, I tell you what, she won't be playing it right back anymore after the start to this one. Ashlyn Miller. What an impact she's had. Well, she was onside. Way onside. It's a match which shows no signs of slowing down, and Wellington all of a sudden just feeling the heat here from Brisbane. Sometimes that can happen, can't it, when a team scores a softish opening goal from nowhere. Maybe you can think it's going to be a little too easy. Now it's Medwin bearing down on goal. And if it wasn't for Mackenzie Barry, it would have been 2-1 for Brisbane. Still the danger not gone. Hayashi. Woods. And Miller. Miller's cross into a good area. Vandermeer's header away. Hayashi. And Samba has had to drop so deep. Has a bit of an air swing. And it'll be a Brisbane throw. You can hear our adoring fans in the house tonight. Delivery out in front of Brown. Miller dropping it back for Varley. Piazza. Real scrap between Elliott and Medwin. Now Woods. Oh, Lara Lee's given this against Medwin. She basically threw herself up off the ground. There's that battle with Elliott. Here she throws herself off the ground. And that was deemed illegal by Lara Lee. So Mania Elliott opened the scoring for Wellington. A minute later, Ashlyn Miller scored her first inter-A-League goal for Brisbane, and that's where we sit at the moment, just over the midway point in this first half. Hayashi just had the ankles clipped. The captain was hoping, based on a body language, for the referee to play advantage. Miller curling it around in front of Fry, who just couldn't handle the pass. And frustrated because it was another good opportunity. They have been able to find that space out wide. Brisbane Roar. Fry has been excellent to start this match, and they really need her to stand up with the loss of two of their Matildas. And what looks to be extended periods. We know definitely Yallop is, but still waiting on confirmation for Grace Krilamu. Didn't look great. That knee injury on New Year's Eve. Zara Kruger as well, suffering an ankle injury. Hayashi and Janssen thwarted there by the goal scorer. Elliott, Samba, so close on the first touch, just drifted away from her. And Elliott, she's come into this side for Lara Wall, back into the starting side. They exchanged positions on Tuesday night. Wall started and Elliott came off the bench, but you can see what that competition for places is doing. Farley put under some pressure and was forced into that pass towards Medwin. So you can see possession more so in favour of Brisbane Roar. A lot of action in the middle of the park. Vandermeer. Seidel threw a body around. Just getting back in position. First start for her since November. She suffered a knee hyperextension. That had kept her out of action for a little while. Came off the bench on New Year's Eve against the Mariners. Really shored them up defensively. Walker. Flock tried to keep it moving around the corner. Just seems like the juice has just come out of both of these two sides. Humid, sapping conditions in Queensland. Currently sitting at about 25 degrees, 75% humidity for the players. Bit of an easterly blowing, 20 k's an hour, so decent conditions this time of the year as Maine testing out Lincoln, who is backtracking. Wellington Phoenix's all-time leading goal scorer in the Ninja A-League. You can see Lincoln being tested like that more and more tonight. Ball running downhill away from Piazza. Lara Lee not very happy. A bit of time wasting. Charlie. Nice across, searching for none. Fryer, though, getting back for her defensive responsibilities, but such is her fitness and quality. She's able to get up and mount some real challenges for Wellington at the other end of the pitch. It looks a really good change, this, from Alex Smith formation-wise. Fryer has done her defensive work. But this could be a challenge for Varley. Samba breathing down her neck. And the strong centre-back has done excellently there. He's a key pillar for Brisbane, Leah Varley. They need her at the top of her game. You can see here, this is a difficult one. The speed of Samba trying to sneak around the blind side, but Varley in the most high-pressure situation. Came up big for Alex Smith. A lot of time being taken here by Ellie Walker. Seidel, it spills almost into the path of Maine. Emma Maine, who scored a double against Western Sydney Wanderers on Tuesday night, to take her top of the all-time Wellington Phoenix charts in this competition. Up above her teammate Grace Jarley, who's got 10. Maine 11. And this is the all-time Wellington appearance maker with the ball at her feet, Mackenzie Barry. Still yet to score her first Inter A-League goal. Has scored for a country, though. Scored at the Olympics for New Zealand against Canada. Free kick, though, against Wellington. Daisy Brown has got herself about tonight. You can see Vlock there. A little bit of a push there. Well, the Brisbane fans finding their voice. The Wellington fans trying to return. As this corner comes in, and Essens punching away. Piazza! Piazza! It's a perler! It's right from the very, very top drawer. And that's a way to open your account in the Ninja A-League. Doesn't get any better than that. Just sit back and enjoy. Oh, Piazza. opposition could do about that. Well, Brisbane, backs to the wall. Injuries, 3 of them to key players. And they are turning the tables here against a Wellington team who have scored 10 and conceded none in their last 2 coming into this one. Well, hasn't that all turned around? I don't reckon this is too bad from a Brisbane perspective. Just gives them a chance to calm down a little bit here after the euphoria of the goal, and Essen and her Wellington team stewing on that moment. They were leading this match after 15 minutes. And hasn't it all turned around since then? Miller and Piazza both scoring their first Ninja A-League goals. It had to be that kind of situation tonight, didn't it, for Brisbane? Players that hadn't usually scored. Maybe not proven goal scorers in this competition. Had to stand up because Quilamu, who scored 3, out. Yallop, who scored 1, gone for an extended period. And Piazza, her first start in the Ninja A-League in almost 2 years, and she's come up with that. Playing on the right side of that back 3 for Alex Smith. So this change of formation for Brisbane, it's a big tick for the coach because it has created the opening 2 goals for them. The width of the first one, and Piazza being in that position, being on the field for the second. Can they continue the momentum, Brisbane Roar? Or can Wellington strike back? Brooke Nunn. Samba. Flag comes up. It looked to be just offside. One thing that is for sure is Wellington will be going absolutely nowhere. And you can see, I reckon she's onside there. I reckon she's onside. You be the judge at home. I'm sure there's plenty of fans in the house tonight. But seeing that on the big screen, would not agree with the decision of the assistant referee. Heinenberg, just thwarted there by Woods. Walker, well, that is incoming and outgoing. Just a little too heavy for Manaia Elliott. It's been such a breathless first half. This finally gives you a chance just to take stock of what we've witnessed. Maybe just for a moment, because here comes Amy Medwin. Well, that would have been quite a way to open her account in Brisbane colours. The unheralded goal scorers coming to the fore tonight. And Medwin, who's playing as the right wing back, can I continue pumping up this change of formation? I feel like could be overdoing it, but once again you can see Medwin able to get forward, as Fryer has done, and it's working a treat. Wellington may have to adjust something at half-time. How do they go about it? With their Olympic gold medal winning coach at the helm. She is an excellent coach, is Bev Priestman. She's got a task on her hands here in Brisbane. So, Wellington, they have scored 4 goals from corners this season. So that spells danger here for Brisbane. We know who those fans want to see rise highest from this corner. Will it be Samba to pull Wellington back level? Delivery! Well, it could have been an Olympico if it wasn't for Bente Janssen. Heinenberg back into the mix. And it's a free kick. And it's going the way of Brisbane. Well, the whistle comes to the Raw's aid there. Have a look at this from Maine. Oh, don't know if it did hit Janssen. May have hit the crossbar. And then look at this dangerous ball. Medwin was fouled by Walker. So Wellington, that's how close they came there to Maine scoring 3 in the last 2. Medwin has pinched it back off Elliott. Barry to the rescue for Wellington. Awkward for Walker. Medwin. And Janssen, who's been so often Brisbane's most influential player, she's had somewhat of a more quiet night, and that will be most pleasing for Alex Smith, that even with Bente Janssen not as influential in terms of scoring goals, Brisbane in front. They relied so heavily on her in that opening part of the season, that first month, 3 wins. And then just struggled for consistency, mainly due to the schedule. Miller, delivery is low. And Walker got it away. Samba. Samba with the twinkle toes. Taking on Seidel. And Seidel taking her towards the sideline. Samba wriggles her feet clear. Now it's Nunn. Oh, Vlock fluffs the lines at the key moment. And the flag is up once again. But she can light up any stadium. Well, don't tell me that's another player onside. Oh, wow. I reckon that's another one. That could be questioned. Had it gone in there, Wellington would have been furious. So Janssen, oh, she given a little elbow there from Vandermeer. Referee says nothing doing. She did cop some treatment on New Year's Eve, did Bente Janssen. And the Mariners. Elliott, or Janssen returns. Vlock. Looks a little too heavy for Nunn. Way too heavy. Really good performance, Pia Vlock, against Western Sydney on Tuesday. This is the thing, young players, 17 years of age. Sometimes it can be a challenge week to week with that consistency, but no doubt her best is well and truly dangerous in this competition. Here's a couple of firebrands here. Nunn and Fryer both won't take a backward step. Things just getting a little bit spicy before half-time. Referee just calling them both over and saying, none of that, thanks. So we've got 4 minutes of additional time. Michaela Ryan with the board up. Well, give us more. It's been a first half with many storylines. 3 goals, a flat ball, a referee collision. You never get a dull moment in the Ninja A-League. And don't forget, we've got triple header tonight. Perth and Newcastle kicking off at 9. And we had Western Sydney and Canberra a 1-1 draw earlier this afternoon. So that's a good point for Western Sydney against Canberra. Sit up near the summit. 2 points clear of victory. Hayashi, well, just out-muscled by Samba. Jale and Vlock. Well, Pia Vlock just hasn't been her night, has it? But look at Samba, just too strong in the challenge with Hayashi, and then Vlock. Well, she had a few options there. She could have gone for goal, but if you saw, Brooke Nunn was unmarked and free on the other side of the box. And this result currently for Brisbane would actually propel them into 5th. Remember, they've only played 7 matches, so they've played 3 less than the teams up the top of the table. So ladder extremely misleading. And Brisbane, well, they have been a little inconsistent, but if they can play this kind of football in the second half, they will be 3 wins and a couple of draws from their first 8. I should say 4 wins and 3 losses from their first 7. Wellington would be 3 wins, a couple of draws and 3 defeats from their first 8. Medwin now will throw up the line. And Daisy Brown able to keep it inside. She's been industrious. She's led the press as Brown. I wonder how much longer she'll have in her legs in the second half, considering she hasn't been playing NPL football. It's, of course, in the summer hiatus. So that is the challenge for Alex Smith when they haven't got that reserve competition. Finding players who are match fit. Jansen has stuffed this over the top. Miller in the foot race with Walker, but Essen read the danger. The international goalkeeper. Vandermeer. Looking for the run of Vlock and Varley. Well, you've got to give a lot of credit to Leah Varley, because after a tough afternoon on New Year's Eve, she's put that behind her and she's put in a really impressive showing tonight. She's marshalled this back line. Barry, Jala. Oh, taken off her toes. And fortunately for Wellington, that is half-time, because Brisbane were keen on the counter. But they'll be happy with this scoreline, the Roar at half-time. Facing a Wellington side in white-hot form. 10 goals in 2 matches. Well, Brisbane, minus 3 key players, have stunned them at half-time. They trailed after 15 minutes. After Anaya Elliott's speculative strike found its way inside the post. And a minute later, Miller return serve for Brisbane. And then Piazza with a strike from outside the box means it's Brisbane Roar 2, Wellington Phoenix 1. Let's have a look back at the goals, and there were some spectacular ones. No bad goals in that first half. Here was Elliott, and Lincoln just could not get back in time, and it was almost a disaster in slow motion for the Brisbane goalkeeper as Elliott curled this one. Lincoln dived in vain, and that was 1-0 Wellington. That was in the 15th minute. And then literally seconds later, Hiyashi released Fryer, playing that left wing-back role tonight. And she found Miller, and Miller, who is playing also higher up the pitch tonight, in that midfield role. She's been playing it right back into the midfield tonight alongside Jansen, was able to find the bottom corner. Let's go was the cry from the American, and they certainly were moving. This strike was moving from Piazza. First start in almost 2 years in the Ninja A-League. And she scores her first Ninja A-League goal, and have a look at that. It doesn't get much better than that for Ava Piazza. He's returned to the Ninja A-League this year after time in Portugal and Armenia. So let's have a look at the halftime stats. So pretty even across the board, you can see. Shots at goal, final third entries, possession, just about everything. But look at that stat, second from bottom, Jules 1, Brisbane Roar. That is a statistic Wellington have dominated this season. Well, Brisbane have come here with a point to prove. Their intensity most certainly is lifted tonight. And it's an impressive first half performance from them. But it's only half time. Second half will be coming soon. We've got the halftime show next. Brisbane leading Wellington 2-1. Welcome back to Redcliffe, where we are witnessing a spectacle of an Ninja A-League clash. Wellington Phoenix up against Brisbane Roar. We had referee collided with. We had drama on the sideline. We had a flat football at one stage as well, but it was not a flat contest at all. There was plenty of spice about this one in the Sunshine State. Well, we are very much looking forward to the second half, but we have been learning about a lot of the players in this year's competition, and the Newcastle Jets boast a strong Kiwi flavour this season. So let's get to know Kelly Brown and Anna Leet a little better as they take on some Ninja A-League questions.
Who's more likely to nutmeg the other in training, and has it happened already?
I fear I'm going to be the one.
Hasn't happened yet.
Well, it's coming though.
Now it is. And it's going to be me.
Ooh. Describe each other's playing style in 3 words. Oh, that's quite intimate. Go on, say nice things, go.
Direct.
Oh, cute, yeah.
Aggressive. Clinical.
That's crazy, you've killed it. I'm going to say determined. I think that's the one.
Okay.
So rapid fast. That was so many words, but rapid fast. I'm just hyphenating. And goat. Goat. Got you. What's the one Kiwi snack or food you desperately miss, and what's your emergency substitute over here? Mine would be like chocolate milk. Aussies don't really make it the same.
Milk?
Well, it's not the same. Like, I need Pugway Valley, I need Lewis Road Creamery.
Oh.
So I'm defaulting to just normal milk with chocolate on the side, I suppose.
You're mixing.
Yeah.
Cocoa
yeah,
powder in,
homemade.
maybe.
Yeah.
Homebrew.
Yeah, sharp.
I'm not too sure for me. Probably just something niche and vegan. You've just scored a goal in a grand final. What's your celebration?
Just been through it really, a bit way. Wave at mum and dad.
If I've scored in a grand final,
Oh, that's it.
I think mum and dad will be there. I think I would run, jump into the stands. Then I'm running over to the bench, hugging Quaylo, hugging Steve-O. Everyone's doggy piling.
Mosh pit. Mosh pit.
Game over.
Yeah. All over.
Yeah.
Hang up the boots. Done.
Hang up the boots, sign my gloves, chuck them in the crowd.
Okay, if the A-League gave you a week off mid-season, where in New Zealand are you flying home to first? And what's the first thing you do when you land?
Ooh.
Go on.
Probably just go home and see my dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's home?
Auckland. Auckland.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to Hamilton. I'm going to see Kev, my dog, going on the farm, and I'm eating a pie. That was 3, but like that's where I'm at.
What's the first thing you do when you land? Probably get St. Pierre's sushi.
Yeah, good
On
option.
the way to cuddle dog.
To see dog. Yeah.
Brucey
Yeah,
boy.
nice.
Give him a piece.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Dog. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you see some smiles from the players.
Well, you've got to love that from Anna Leet and Kelly Brown, who are both currently in Perth. They are playing for the Newcastle Jets. Kick-off in about 15 minutes against the Glory. So looking forward to that one as we reflect back on the goals from the first half of this one in Redcliffe. And you don't want to miss this highlights package. This was Hayashi, had it pinched off her toes by Mania Elliott, who saw Lincoln was out of position and made her pay, but then Hayashi almost immediately made amends with her distribution here, finding Fryer, who linked with Miller. And a first Ninja A-League goal for the American Ashlyn Miller, who's come out of Dallas. And then Piazza, who's been playing in Europe recently, back in the Ninja A-League. And a first goal in this competition to put Brisbane Roar in front at half-time. And let's have a look now at the first half chances. And Brisbane Roar with the best early chance. The flag did come up for offside there against Fryer, and she shook her hand and said, no, no, no. Well, she was right. She was onside. And Lincoln did have a few nervy moments, and that's certainly a well that Wellington will want to go to again in the second half. Medwin was industrious down the right. She's been getting up and back, and he's got such terrific endurance in his wingers, Alex Smith. He's utilised them in this back 3/back 5 tonight. And this was that chance for Medwin. hasn't scored for Brisbane yet, has a couple of Ninja A-League goals, and she will be ruining that moment. It could have been 3-1 to Brisbane before the break. So we have got the second 45 coming up right after this. Can Brisbane cause an upset against Wellington? Well, welcome back to Redcliffe, where we have witnessed a goal of the season contender from over Piazza. Well, it just gets better and better with every angle you watch that strike. And she will never forget it, because it was the night she scored her first Ninja A-League goal. And we are ready to go in the second half. So Brisbane Roar, 45 minutes away from causing a real stir here tonight. The coach has decided to make any substitutions at half-time. So it is as we were to start this game. And Bev Priestman, just wonder how she can get her side to create a few more of those clear-cut chances in the final third. There has been some, but Brisbane have been able to snuff them out. Hayashi stepping into midfield has certainly been an asset for Brisbane. She's been playing in the back four for them, and she's moved into midfield. Varley alongside Seidel and Piazza in the back three. And Hayashi having a key role in that first Brisbane Roar goal. Setting up the run of Fryer, who squared it for Miller. Fryer, the 4th assist of the season. Heinenberg and Walker. You just wonder how significant the loss of CJ Bott is for Wellington. Started every match, their captain, 3 seasons in the WSL, with Leicester most recently. Not in the side tonight after suffering a knee injury on Tuesday against Western Sydney. Vandermeer. Ooh, Saba copped a little toe here from Piazza. An apology from the Raw goal scorer. You can see that right knee heavily strapped. She did begin the season with some niggling injuries. I'll just say Piazza there. She was explaining to Lara Lee that there wasn't much in it. The referee, though, felt there was enough for a free kick, so that's one thing Brisbane really have stepped up tonight, that physicality. They've had to match Wellington. Jarley's delivery, Lincoln's punch, none back into a dangerous area. And Brisbane eventually scrounged it away through Jansen. But set pieces, they are most certainly Wellington's strong suit. 4 goals from corners this season. Jarley, what a player she has developed into. Here was that corner, so Lincoln, she just balked for a moment to Chloe Lincoln. Just did enough on the punch, and then Wellington couldn't follow up the chance on goal. Fryer. So you can see, look at that, Brisbane. If that doesn't give you an indication where they are going, out wide. And it's been Medwin on the right and it's been Fryer on the left. And they have caused massive headaches for Wellington. They have exploited the space in behind Wellington's back 3. Heinenberg skips past the challenge. Oh, Main just didn't get enough of a touch. And it all breaks down for the Knicks. Well, we know they're a tight unit, Wellington. Emma Main said this week on New Year's Eve they all went out to watch a movie together. Coaching staff gave them some space. So you can see that right flank where they are most dangerous, and they are certainly a side who can overcome this 2-1 deficit. Bev Priestman has really brought this unit together over the off-season. I did say this week they have to get used to being one of the hunted sides after being an underdog club in their first 4 seasons. in the Ninja A-League. A couple of wooden spoons in their first 2 seasons and then missing the finals the last couple of years. So Brazendale is going to replace Pynenberg in midfield. So straight switch there. Pynenberg getting that match fitness up after arriving from the Netherlands. Made a debut against Western Sydney on December 30. And Brazendale comes in, the 19-year-old New Zealand under-20 representative. Brazendale, who played at that World Cup back in 2024, but right now they're conceding a corner through Mania Elliott. And while Brisbane haven't scored from a corner, they've scored 4 headed goals this season, which leads you to think that they are a threat from these set pieces. Varley most certainly is going to be a target in there. You can see there is Varley. There's the height advantage over Barry. Seidel's delivery. Out of the way by the Knicks. And then Main's header away from danger. Medwin. That's Varley. Really scrapping there, trying to win it back for Brisbane. Ayashi. Scooped up to Fryer. He tried to hit it first time and probably had a little bit more time than she first thought. You can see here the ball just holding up, so onside, the ball just holding up on the grass. I mentioned in the first half, that was discussed in the men's game. This pitch just sitting the ball up a little more, the grass a little longer. That's something both sides will have identified, no doubt. Those balls will sit up, played through. And you can see here again, the pace of none will get to the ball. Neat work away from Fryer. Dangerous delivery. Samba, was she legged there in the box? Lara Lee says nothing doing. Well, I'd love to see that one again on replay. It did look to be contact. So none v Fry, that was excellently done.
When we step out on the corner, no one's back post.
Well, there's a little bit of insight. So there's Ellie Walker just explaining to the Wellington coaching staff, now at the back post on the corner. And you can see, well, I think that's the right call. Just that contact. It didn't really look like there was much at all from that angle. And Samba industrious after the football. She's back up and about. You cannot keep a player of her quality down for long. And Brisbane have to be wary. Walker with the throw. Ayashi nodding it away from immediate danger. Oh my goodness, what is doing there? Daisy Brown. Well, a yellow card out immediately. She looked as though she grabbed Mackenzie Barry around the neck and just tossed her to the turf. Have a look at this. Well, she's not getting away with that. Daisy Brown, first yellow card in the Ninja A-League. She's not taking a backward step here tonight. There's no doubt been a conversation to these Brisbane Roar players about upping the ante and their physicality. Here's the cross towards that back post. Over the head of Lincoln. Walker. Oh, how is that somehow being cleared away by Brisbane? Well, you were just waiting for the net to bulge. And Ellie Walker wheeling away. Samba. It's a little overhit. Well, how has this stayed out? Have a look at this. Firstly off the post, then Walker. Oh, it's been blocked. Samba has blocked the strike of Walker. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. We'll note that moment down. 57th minute. We'll have another look at that moment here. Get a look at it from another angle, but I'm pretty sure it was a teammate who blocked this. Here we go. Walker. It is. It was going in. It was Samba who blocked the strike of Walker. You do not see that often. Ellie Walker cannot believe it. And Brisbane, well, they've dodged a bullet there. I'm loving this duel. Fry v Nunn. Two players do not take a backward step as that delivery dropping on Lincoln. But well pouched. So Wellington going to the bench again, and we've got another flat ball. What's going on with the pumps in Redcliffe tonight? That's two flat balls we've got. And once again, I come back, I just wonder whether it's the pitch. Is it the pitch that is making the players think these balls are a little flatter? Because the ball's not quite running as well. Not quite sure. Here's Vlock, maybe her final involvement in this match. Pia Vlock. Oh, and Varley. Impressive performance from her tonight. Hayashi looking for the quick release. Fry was just catching a breath or two, which was totally fair because she's done a mountain of work tonight. Sian Fry, gee, she's had a game. Hayashi, another one of these diagonal passes, but that time not finding the intended target. And you can see here, Brooke Nunn forced back because of the danger that Fry possesses, and that has obviously been a message from the coaching staff, because what happened in the first half, well, Nunn was higher up the pitch, and that's when Fry got in behind and really exploited the Wellington backline and set up the opening goal. Those substitutions for Wellington, and it will be Vlock who is replaced. Leon, the captain of the Dominican Republic, who was at Adelaide United last year. 5 goals for her. Mainly utilised off the bench this season by Bev Priestman. Can she open her account for Wellington? And it is Wall also onto the field for the Knicks, and Kaya Stevenson comes on for Daisy Brown, who's put in an industrious shift in starting debut for Brisbane, the 19-year-old. Gee, she put herself about, didn't she? Really led the press from the front. And after really not playing much football of late, she's got through an hour here in warm conditions in Redcliffe. So you would anticipate Janssen will push up into that number 9 role. And it looks as much with Stevenson dropping into the midfield pocket, which Janssen was previously positioned in. So Wellington just getting more of the ball as they try to find an equaliser. They've never won in Queensland in the Ninja A-League. Is that Barron run set to continue? Mackenzie Barry cuts out the pass to Fryer. Strong from Brazendale. So just having a look at how Wellington have changed things up with these substitutions. It would seem that Brooke Nunn has been pushed higher up the pitch. Mania Elliott playing in the right wing-back role, you can see here on the left in the first half, and Wall comes in as the left wing-back option. So just see if that is how things shake out in the next few minutes or so. And you can see Nunn pushing higher up the pitch. We know she's a goal threat. And Bev Priestman really giving her licence here to go after the equaliser. Sit a bit higher up the pitch without being forced into her defensive responsibilities as a wing-back. So you can see passing pretty much dead level between these two, and Elliott, Samba, Lincoln. And the flag comes up. Well, look at this desperation. Even with the flag up, the desperation from Brisbane. It's most impressive. This is a significant step up tonight from Brisbane. They are defending like their lives depend on it. So there's the flag up. Samba was onside. It was Nunn. It may have been Leon that was offside. So another perplexing one from the officials tonight. Brazender just turned and hit the pass first time. Almost caught out Brisbane. Seidel knocking it into the sideline. To the corner is the call from Walker, and that's exactly what Elliott does. And it very nearly brings Wellington an equaliser. Well, that's the experience of the American there. The 26-year-old Ellie Walker out of Portland, just instructing Elliott to go down to the sideline, and well, it almost came up trumps for the Knicks. Walker getting it all the way to Charlotte. But Brisbane at the moment are under the cosh. We know how quickly they can break, so Wellington have to be awake to that danger. But they can't be defending for the last 25 minutes of this one. Wellington have too many threats. Lincoln again forced into a save to deny Brazendale. Well, the strikes are raining in from just about everywhere for Wellington at the moment. Lincoln, another spectacular save. Nervy start to this game from Chloe Lincoln, but gee, she's come up huge in some key moments in this second half. X marks the spot. Elliott, it's swinging in. It is very dangerous once again. And Walker lashes it over the bar. Well, she's come so close again there, Mania Elliott from the corner. And Bente Janssen is just clutching at her face here. What's happened? Maybe a little bit of a head clash here. So there's a delayed reaction, and you sense there's a little bit of experience smarts here from her. She knows the team's under the pump. Just give them a moment here. See there, maybe a little knock to the nose with Jarley. Samba has been busy tonight. You can see as her touches in this game so far. She has been all over the field for Wellington tonight. She would love an equalising goal. It would mean goals in 3 consecutive matches and another in front of her adoring fans. First ever South Asian player to score a hat-trick in a top-tier European league when she scored for Guingamp back in the 24-25 season. It was in France, and she's played across the world in Nepal, India, France, Israel, back to the Asian Confederation in the A-League. Even though Wellington technically in the OFC. There's Fryer. And here's another whistle going away of Wellington. You might be able to see just a little bit of light rain falling. Here's a little bit around tonight in Redcliffe. Shouldn't be around for long. Sian Fryer looking to outpace Charlotte. Utilised Janssen. Miller. And that deflection, well, it could have gone anywhere there. Fortunately for Wellington, it'll just be a corner. And look at Fryer, she just does not stop moving. Played that pass to Janssen, got herself in position, and then allowed the pass to Miller. So you can see that'll be nice and cooling for the players. May get a little bit steamy when it all disappears. High humidity in Queensland. So the corner towards the centre of the box. It was powered away by Walker. Woods. And Essen, the New Zealand international, having no problems with that. First season in the Ninja A-League for Victoria Essen after some trophy-laden seasons with the Rangers in Scotland. So she knows what this type of weather's like, a bit of rain on the pitch. Makes things a bit more challenging for goalkeepers. Stevenson, energetic player to bring off the bench. Kaya Stevenson, she'll buzz around in midfield, do a lot of hard work for the Raw. She's making this forward run here. Wasn't able to be found though. And none. Gonna trick away past Woods, who earned the ball back for the Raw. Looks up, sees the run of Medwin. Stretching wall. And it's Medwin's throw. She's got a long one in her. Decides instead to find Jansen. Hayashi. Stevenson. Miller knew that the space was out to the left. Couldn't sneak it past Mania Elliott. Back goes Varley. Wellington players pushing forward here, but it's Hayashi. Has she won a free kick? Surely she has. No, says Lara Lee. Went down too easily. Alex Smith cannot believe it. Oh, and there's a problem here for Brisbane. Well, this is the decision Alex Smith cannot believe. He's still questioning it with the fourth official. As Piazza, well, she's cramping up, and you can understand why, because it's her first start in the Ninja A-League in almost 2 years. She hasn't played out the full 90 in quite some time. So Piazza being helped to her feet. So what has Alex Smith got on his bench to work with? He's got Kinsella. He's a defender, 19-year-old. He's got Studer as well. Kira Myers as outfield options. Ruby Cuthbert as well. He's only made the one change thus far. So you wonder, does he keep Piazza out there with the cramp? Miller looking up the line. Will it stayed in? Has it? No, it hasn't. A little bit of confusion. So you can just see some activity there on the Brisbane bench. But did the ball go out here? It's hit the line there. Well, that stayed in. I reckon that stayed in. It's curled its way up the line. Interesting. Very interesting. This will be a corner, though. This will be a corner for Wellington. Final 15 minutes here. Four goals this season from corner kicks, Wellington. Rain falling. Big test this for Chloe Lincoln in goal. must command her penalty area. Elliott is an option if they want to move it short, and that's where they go here, Wellington. A little bit of a change-up. Elliott's delivery. Lincoln got enough on it. The problem is, though, this is going to be a corner, and guess who is running over to take it? Well, it's Mania Elliott, who has been deadly from this side. And with the rain falling, this is going to present a significant problem. It's the same plan here. Oh, does X mean I'm going for another Olympico? She very nearly pulled it off earlier in this first half. In the second, I should say, as the corner is in, off the line. And Brisbane have scrambled it away again. Lincoln is on the turf, so too is Samba. Bodies on the line everywhere you look here in Redcliffe. Well, here's the corner again. It is really dangerous again. Somehow that's kept out. Then Lincoln has got a hand here to prevent Samba scoring. Look at this. Well, it's dramatic. It's dramatic stuff here in Redcliffe. Lincoln has stepped up, shown her very, very best in the second half. And she's back to her feet now. I think she's got a little bit of a grin as well. So Samba, was that an ice pack? Is it on the leg or is it on the hand? Because if it's on the leg, you would think her night is done. If it's on the hand, then you probably think it's okay, and she may continue here. Well, it's not looking a great way here. Chloe Lincoln, very nonchalant. Here it is. That's off the line from Medwin. Then Lincoln, well, she's just got enough of a punch to force Samba's header. And Samba has landed on her right leg, which is heavily strapped. And just getting the knee test. So this will be the real test here for Samba. Can she run it out? Or is that her night over? And it'd be a sorry way for it to end. So you can see how busy she's been. 31 touches tonight. A couple of final third entries. So let's have a look. So watch Samba's collision here with Lincoln. So you can see right knee. And from that angle, it looked as though Lincoln come through there on Samba. No intention, of course, but it's a sad way for the crowd favourite to leave the pitch here tonight. So Zoe Benson comes on. And there'll be no goals in 3 consecutive matches for the Nepalese star. So is that a moment which can galvanise Wellington? We've seen what injuries have done to Brisbane. A couple of key injuries on New Year's Eve, and they've come out here tonight with a point to prove. With Samba limping from the field, is there a chance here for Zoe Benson to step up, who was a key player in the Women's National League Grand Final for Auckland. She won Player of the Match and scored the winning goal. And signed a development deal in December. So she knows what it's like to step up in significant moments, Zoe Benson. This is another level, though, in the Ninja A-League. Charley. Well, enough physicality, or too much physicality, I should say. So it's that right knee is the problem. The Samba. Essen up the ground. Oh, Yashi flying through into the back of Jale. Oh, a little handball was there from Janssen. And Elliott's tried to pinch an extra 5 metres. Referee's just instructing Lara Wall to take it back a few metres. Hayashi giving Miller a cause to chase, but it's Barry and groans around KO Stadium as Miller very nearly blocked that pass from Essen. Elliott giving chase. Seidel curling it up the line. Kept in by Wall. Delivery. Challenging for Lincoln. Has to punch it away initially. And then claims the scraps. And has she claimed a free kick as well for the contact from Walker, who's having a little chuckle. So here it is. It was a good delivery from Wall. Players cramping up everywhere you look at the moment. And this is frustrating Wellington. It was Seidel. And Fry's got the pickle juice as well. This is a result of just that hard work she's had to do up and down the sideline tonight. But it's a plan that's worked for Brisbane, because they've nullified Wellington's threats. And when Wellington have created chances, Alex Smith's team have shown the tenacity and togetherness to scramble. So possession pretty much 50-50. Just shaded by Wellington, who have had a little bit more possession in this second half, you can see. Essen had to be sharp. Hayashi moves through the gears, scoops it up in front of Miller. And Barry, well, will this be a throw for Wellington? She's done well there, Miller, to ensure it wasn't a goal kick. Fry. Stevenson. Stevenson continues the run. Kai Stevenson. Well, Fryer applauds the delivery. She'll be frustrated. She just overran the pass. Hayashi's touch was heavy. She didn't stop Elliott. And now Wellington have numbers forward. Benson. Charley. Charley in towards the middle. Benson tried to squeeze her way through past Seidel. And Janssen with a rare slip-up. Wall. Delivery with the left. Great delivery. Leon turns. And the clearance away from Seidel. It is all hands to the pump for Brisbane. Wellington are bashing on the door. The cross is another good one. And it was the contact from Jale. Ball is in the back of the net, but it won't count. Because there was contact from Jale, it was. And this was the contact. Don't know how much was going on there. Looked like a fair contest from that replay. And Brisbane going to take a few more seconds off the watch now. So final 3 minutes. A team who hasn't won, Brisbane, since December 7. So they had 3 weeks between matches, November 16 to December 7. And then they had basically 2.5 weeks between matches until they played on New Year's Eve. Alex Smith, very frustrated with the scheduling. And in both matches after extended delays, they suffered injuries. Yallop in Adelaide. And then on the weekend, Kruger and Quilamu. But they've overcome it all tonight thus far to push themselves into a 2-1 lead. Bev Priestman's team, well, they've scored 10 goals in the 2 matches leading into this one. But tonight, they have come up against a Brisbane Roar unit which is lifted without some key players. But they still have some time to see out now. Elliott slips it in front of Nunn. It was Varley who closed the door on Nunn. But it's a corner for Wellington. And if you know the script for Wellington so far this season, it's that from corners they are extremely dangerous. And with less than 90 seconds of regulation time, this is another test for Brisbane to overcome. Brazendale's tried to strike on goal. Cleared away. Fryer is herring after it. Barry could sense the footsteps. Brisbane, can they break? Well, they've turned that around, haven't they, the Roar? From being under the pump now to some breathing space. Change. There's Miller. Stevenson. Straight into the lap of Essen, who has been fouled by Medwin. Now, I can tell you there was no substitution there. The fourth official has put the board up a little early. And my understanding is we have 9 minutes of additional time. 9 minutes for Wellington to try and find themselves an equalizer. So there you go. A match which has enthralled us from the outset. We haven't had any goals in the second half, though. It's still Ava Piazza's first Ninja A-League goal, which separates the sides. Wellington, they have never taken a point from a match in Queensland. Leon shimmying onto the right. Pushes the cross over the top. Fryer with the header away. Gee, she's been mighty tonight. Sian Fryer. Wall's ball. And Jale cannot get the header on target or with enough power. She has to be close to player of the match, Sian Fryer, tonight. Just the workload defensively. And then how much she's created at the other end of the pitch. Set up the opening goal. Yellow card handed out to Chloe Lincoln. Well, that's standard for goalkeepers in this situation, isn't it? Woods, shoulder to shoulder, winning another duel there. Fryer. Ooh, a little bit of a nudge. And a whistle. Music to the ears of the Brisbane Roar faithful. Don't forget, as soon as this one's done and dusted, you can head to Perth for the second half of that match between Perth Glory and Newcastle. That one in the dying stages of the first half. Down they go to the corner, Brisbane. It is early. There's still 6 minutes to go. They've got a fair bit of time to soak up. So they've got Melbourne Victory up next, Brisbane, January 11, before Western Sydney on Jan 16. Wellington have got a home bout with Melbourne City. What a mouth-watering matchup that shapes up as for a clash with Canberra. Also another intriguing contest, so some tough matches awaiting both of these two sides. But right now, the only thought is about trying to get something out of this one for Wellington. Hayashi trying to keep pace with Leon. Nunn has to backtrack. Razendale. And Barry. Vandermeer. Push that pass through the gap, which was closed by Woods. Elliott's has offered Jale some width here, and Jale just couldn't keep it from crossing the sideline. Alex Smith marching down the touchline. Jale firing in the long throw, looking for the head of Benson. Farley finding the sideline. Anywhere will do for Jansen. Into the back row of the grandstand. Bit of a crowd killer. Farley just surveying what Wellington are going to throw at them here. Well, what a doubleheader it's been tonight in Redcliffe. The favourites beaten in the A-League men's clash. And Wellington coming here on the back of an imperious couple of matches. Well, they have been put to the absolute test. 3 minutes to try and pull it out of the fire, and they've got a free kick here. First Medwin, then Hayashi. Piazza's Perla in the first half, still the difference. Will it be the match winner? Charlot's set piece. It's driven in low. It's Varley again. Another player who stood tall tonight for Brisbane. Essen back in towards the mixer. Medwin away. Stevenson. Jansen gives it some height. Gives Fryer something to chase. Leon turning. Swerving away from a couple. And none. This is a tricky one. Oh! It's deceived Lincoln. And Brooke Nunn may well have salvaged a point for Wellington Phoenix. Well, the championship winner last year with the Mariners, showing her championship qualities there. Well, you just knew it was a tricky one. It was spinning, it was swerving awkwardly. Lincoln tried to punch. She's had a fresh air swing. An absolute disaster for Brisbane. On a night where they've worked so hard for their lead. And it's been extinguished just minutes from full time. And now they don't have long. Look at Priestman, she's just saying calm it down. Are they happy with a point here, Wellington? Brisbane certainly won't be. They look crestfallen. What a result it would have been for them after all the injury dramas of the last few days. But there's still time for them. Woods searching for Medwin. Stevenson. There's just seconds remaining. Studer. Barry. Can they snatch it here, Wellington? We saw what Melbourne victory did against the Mariners. It's certainly within the realms of possibility. Gee, it's a heartbreaker. Your heart bleeds, doesn't it? For Alex Smith in this situation. Well, it's a heartbreaker for Brisbane. It's history for Wellington. For the first time, the Phoenix have come to Queensland and they have taken a competition point in the Ninja A-League. And gee, they showed some fighting spirit. This is a side who's going to compete for the finals and beyond this season. Brooke Nunn with the late equaliser for Bev Priestman's team. And for Brisbane, who deserved it after how hard they worked tonight. They scrambled, but in the end it wasn't enough. Full time in Redcliffe, Brisbane Roar 2. Wellington Phoenix 2. And let's have a look at the highlights of this one. And it was a match with very few dull moments. Mania Elliott scoring the opener for Wellington after she pinched it off Hayashi. Maybe just adapting to life back in the midfield. A little bit more pressure than she's been used to